Hello, welcome. It's me, Vance, at Kopi With Vans. Yep. For those who have been following me in the past 4 months, you may be watching this program called Kopi With Vans, where a lot of speakers, especially doctors, motivation speakers, musicians, a lot of various kind of topics that we talked about in Kopi With Vans. And during these 4 months of circuit breaker is where a lot of speakers came and shared their experiences, but I hope everybody is just coming out from circuit breaker, getting into the lifestyle. Slowly is coming back, so I know we all have to hang in a while because this COVID-19 is hijacked most of our life. Probably you also might have seen I've changed a little bit, no more long hair. All right, thanks for the messages. And yes, so I call this season two because season one has been completed during the circuit breaker. As we transit to phase two, we have more speakers that came on online as well, that lined up. They are willing to share their experiences, not only on fitness and health, but more on topics on different topics that you might even requested or suggested. And I thank everyone for that who's giving their humble encouragements and their support. So for today, I have a special speaker as well. Um, I think you all have seen the posters that we put on for this particular person to come and speak. I mean, I know this particular person for quite some time, a very dynamic, very encouraging, very motivating particular person, and also doing a lot of humanitarian work, but at the same time doing a lot of charity works as well. So without any ado, I'm going to invite Vanessa. So let's get Vanessa on board. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, Wanan. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How you been?
I feel great. It's so wonderful to be on your talk show today.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I mean, I have to thank you because your personal story that we're going to share in this platform is a very honor for us because not everyone will want to share their personal experiences. But somehow or other, I know that you always wanted to show what you are, but rather than putting up an act. But that really shows me how bold and confident person you are, and you're always a dynamic person, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is great for me to share about my life because I want people to actually know who I am. And I want this to be an open discussion. That's why I actually chose this place, One Fullerton Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's in the open air, very peaceful. And
Okay.
it just depicts my mood right now to be open up to the audience who will be watching.
Okay. But I got to tell you, your background is very nice. It's something like a wallpaper. But I was thinking it
Yeah.
was the
Yes, I
wallpaper.
know because
But
I actually came down earlier to see what was the best background that we can have.
okay, that's good. I mean, you're having a very chill Friday evening. But we're also on lunch today, and we have already have a few of our viewers. Thank you, Anil. Thank you. Great. Thank you so much. So there's going to be a lot of exciting topics today. Where Vanessa is going to share a lot of experiences. Thank you, Daniel, for your participation. So, Vanessa, here we are today, live, right? I know you for a couple of years. There's a lot of transition that's been happened, right? And I know you
Yeah.
went through a lot. There's some personal experiences. There's trying. Okay, there was a lot of personal experiences I know you want to share. But let's dive into the topic and without any further delay. Right? What is all about the journey of Vanessa? What is the story behind you?
Well, my journey is about confidence building, about becoming who I am, about going through all the bumpy roads that you can travel on, about building self-esteem, and eventually not to lose the meaning of your lives. Because as I went through my journey, I went through various stages, and each stage of my life has given me a certain meaning towards it. But eventually, all this accumulated to one big meaning. And that big meaning of my life is to serve society. To have that confidence to go out.
Can I ask you, Vanessa, where did Vanessa came from?
When did?
Where did Vanessa came from?
Well, Vanessa came from any other place that a person comes from, a mother's womb. I was born as who I am to be. You know, in society, people tell us, where do you come from? I tell them, I come from the same place where you have come from. There is no difference between you and I. So I want to make that statement to society that we are actually no different than any other people in society who is living right now, who wants to pursue their own life as we also want to pursue our own life and let people understand us.
How do you feel when someone look at you differently?
At this moment of time when people look at me, to me, I don't really feel anything right now. Maybe many years down the road when I was developing myself, when my self-esteem was pretty low, I was very conscious on the way people were looking at me. But all these have changed. And right now, if people still want to have a not so good opinion of me, then that is their problem. It's not my problem because I'm living a life. I'm living my own life. Each one, each one of us lives our own lives.
So when we talk about, sorry, Vanessa, so when we talk about life journey about all about Vanessa, I know that it wasn't an easy path because it's who you are and your answer for that particular question was fabulous. Everyone came from where the person came from our mother's womb. So there's no difference, right? But like as you say that as you start to develop the journey and you notice the changes and you try to accept it and you move on, how was the emotions for you or how the paths for you?
So can you repeat that question again?
I said as the journey you took,
Hmm?
in the life of Vanessa, and how was the experiences that you went through as you're accepting Vanessa as yourself and you're moving ahead in the path of your journey as the years come by. During the younger age till now.
Well, I've always knew that I was who I was since 5 years old. But the journey to be who I am has been very rocky and has been very difficult. And like I said, every obstacle that I faced, it has given me a meaning of life. It has asked me who am I really am. And honestly, it took me a very long time to understand myself because I had no confidence at all. But that relationship changed when I met a few people. Actually, I would say that I was pretty lucky to meet some people like Vanita, for example.
Okay, that's a very familiar name. Okay,
She gave me that confidence to be who am I today. I mean, seriously, I have got to be very grateful to her because without her, I don't think I'll be sitting here and talking to you. But with that confidence that I created, I worked very hard on it to get over other obstacles and create new relationship with other people. Of course, relationship with other people can be good, can be bad. But after a time I took it in my stride that if the relationship is bad, it's bad. If the relationship is good, it's good. I'm not going to bother and pursue somebody to like me if that person doesn't like me at all. I'm very grateful if a person who likes me, and I appreciate that. So that is how I go about my life these days.
Okay. So definitely there's a huge changes that, from a non-confident person you are with low esteem, and now you are full of energy. And nowadays the words doesn't hurt you at all, because you see the society is that there's always constant comments, constant suggestions. But like you mentioned, right? I mean, you only take it as what you want to, right? But how about the negative comments that you always receive, that you might receive? Or right now it's not even bothering you at all, but some people mockery about it, and jokes about it, but this is life experiences. So, and as you develop and you build up your career, in terms of, I know you've done a lot of huge assignments which we'll talk about later, but in terms of character wise, what would be that a factor that in you that boosts you up and say, you know what, this is my life, this is what I'm going to go through, and I'm going to be true to myself, and then you pursue it, the journey of Vanessa. What would be the key thing?
The key thing is confidence. The key thing is confidence to be who you want to be. The willingness in your heart to be what you want to be in life. I mentioned earlier that I knew myself who I was at age of 5. Now, moving forward, I'm able to make that wish come true because of the experiences that I've gone through. Now, this must come from a person's own heart. The willingness to be who the person wants to be. Honestly, if I did not have any will to build myself up, then I will still be having that same low self-esteem as I was many years ago. So all this depends on oneself. And I tell to the transgender community out there, if you want to build yourself up and you want to build confidence, it is up to you to have that will, to come out from your comfort zone and build yourself up and interact with people. Whether or not they like you or not, it doesn't matter. It is you. It is you who matters the most in your own life. And when people see that confidence in you, they will somehow also change their perspective of who you are eventually. But of course, maybe sometimes it may never happen, but never mind, that's immaterial. But there will be some changes in your life sooner or later if you are willing to change your life. If you are willing to have that confidence to show people that you can change.
Just hold on there, Vanessa. So we have Anil saying that I admire the strength and the courage you have. So definitely,
Oh,
Daniel,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Admire the total strength and the courage that you have, Vanessa. So thanks, Daniel, for boosting up the confidence even more further for Vanessa. Vanessa, so yes, so we are starting to talk about the society. We are talking about accepting, and this is all about you. So as long as you are happy, and that's what it's all about, life. And this was not a choice; it was given to you. But can I ask you, do you have the support of your friends and family of who you
At
are?
at the moment right now, I have a lot of support. A lot of people are supporting me in my life journey, and I'm very grateful. But to me, support is support. It is good, and everyone like you and me, we need somehow some support in life to go on with our lives. But I believe that we cannot be too dependent on our support. We still need to be dependent on ourselves. Because just imagine, what if one day everybody disappears and you're left alone in this world?
Wow.
Who are you going to depend on? Yourself, right? So we always must have plan B. Plan A, yes, support good, happiness. I like that. But plan B is when, say, supporting something tragic happens and you are left alone. Then you'll be able to also survive and fight for yourself and continue living. So that
Vanessa,
is
it's
how I plan my
very,
life.
I got to say that it's very happy to see that, from a period of low period to where you are right now. And there was a point, I know, because you were going through a lot of changes. And, the kind of personal experience that people want to come and share, especially their personal story or their personal experiences, it's a little hard, because you are letting know the social. That's what social media is all about. But
Yeah.
in that transition period where you build up your confidence, your boldness, your self-esteem, and tons of it to come along with the character building, and now you are speaker as well. Now, so it's a huge transition of where you have started and where you have continue. I want to say ended the journey because there's a long way ahead, but it's
Yes.
truly a proud moment to see you who you are and accepting it and moving ahead with all these negativity that put on you, and you just take it everything out from you, and then you choose to be who you are and respect that. So I think it's really an amazing thing that you are doing, Vanessa. So I know, but of course it's not going to be easy. But, as you know that as a society, there's always different views and comments that comes along constantly. But I want to ask you your obstacles and challenges during this transition. It's going to be easy, especially the society or even the loved ones. There could be more than that. I know there are few days that you might be alone, going through so many things, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally. So, what are they? Vanessa?
Well, obstacles and challenges that I've actually faced, in actual fact, there were many. If I were to go down the road, I would say that I had Coke bottles and orange juice cans being thrown at me. I was abused. And that was a period of how I lost my self-esteem. I became a nervous wreck. Now looking at me, do you think I'm a nervous wreck? Actually, I
I don't,
was long time ago.
I don't think
No,
so.
seriously, when I went to a shopping center, I had to march up and down 50 times before deciding to go into the store. I was sweating profusely. I was so afraid of actually going up to a sales girl and ask her that I wanted to buy a particular dress. I just couldn't do it at all. That was how bad I was. Looking back at those times and now, I'm actually seriously, I'm very surprised at myself also. I'm totally surprised at my own change.
But are you
It
a happy
hasn't been
person
a,
right now?
it's been a huge change for me.
Vanessa, I got to
And
ask you, are you a happy person right now?
I'm happy. Of course, I'm happy because I want to be happy. I'm not saying that I don't have any unhappiness. Everybody have their happiness, have their unhappiness at periods of time, at their own periods of time. We cannot be happy forever. I don't think you can be happy forever. There'll be days where you'll be angry, you'll be sad, same like me. But the important thing is we must develop a positive mind, a calm heart, so that we can be happy even though we are not happy. You get, I hope you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
We have to be happy even though we are not happy. There'll be periods of time where we will face this. So every morning when I get up, I always give thanks to whatever I have in life. I have a list of things that I want to thank. So when I keep on thinking I create happiness in me. Even like says for example, I actually don't like my job. I don't like my work. But every day I give thanks to it. I give thanks that it's providing money. And when I do that, I'm becoming happier and happier. I'm able to do my work, even though I'm still unhappy with my job.
Okay. But I mean, of course, that life is never be a bed of roses. Of course, comes along with some thorns as well, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, at this point of time, we have so many comments that came in. I'm going to bring in one by one. So we have Taj Vanilla, and and you know, she just said that transitioning for me is fixing what we are supposed to be. I am a transgender man in 2 years and 10 months in the hormone replacement therapy since I'm born in the wrong body, which I am correcting it physically. I mean, of course, like I said, the choices, certain things are not within the choices, and our society, it's still. I mean, we got to say that um, it's coming better. People are accepting. Just that there's some maybe about, can we say about 20-30% still not in line with accepting. Will you agree with that, or do you think it's too much better right now?
I think it was better than before.
Okay,
But you need to see the context of Singapore society. Singapore has become a society whereby the LGBT community is actually left alone. It's
okay,
like, I don't disturb you, you don't disturb me.
okay.
But still, there is still an underlying policy that our lives are not totally accepted because the government follows a heterosexual family upbringing, and it has not repealed the 377A yet. So all this gives a signal that our community is actually not that accepted in Singapore. It can be accepted to a certain level, but if you go past that certain level, then there will be challenges.
Comes in. We have
Because
a question to take right now, and after that we will continue with you, Vanessa. So, did you have a hard time coming out, especially with your parents? Because
yes, until now I still have a hard time with them. You
okay,
know something? My parents are anti-LGBT. I have a very hard time with them, but I still love them. Like I said, I always give thanks every morning, and one of my thanks is that they actually gave birth to me. So even though my heart is very painful that they have not accepted me, I still love them because they are still my parents. So that is how I live my life. That's how I get along in my life, because I believe that if we keep on fighting every day, my parents become miserable, I become miserable. Then what's the point? There's no harmony in the house. So I created so I create as much as I can of love and peace in the house because I love my parents. Yes, I have difficulty with them, but then again, I still can live with them.
Vanessa, in your previous years before this COVID-19 pandemic came in, you've been traveling quite often, all right? Especially to India and different part of the countries to do speech. I saw some of your videos, and I know we talked about that as well. I mean, you are encouraging. You're an icon for women, especially empowering them. And well, where do you get all this so-called sudden talent? Can I say sudden talent, because you wasn't like that before? Because you agreed and you spoke that earlier on you wasn't like where how you are compared to the previous years, right? Like when you are coming to the obstacles and challenges. But right now it's totally different. So how is that possible right now? Where did that sudden wisdom came in?
that wisdom actually came in when I took out my sociology degree. You know, when I took out my sociology degree, I had a list of courses that I was supposed to choose and study. So I was actually browsing through them, and I came across gender studies on women's issues. And as I was reading through the syllabus, I realized, hey, women have no problems. I think I should indulge in this because first thing, I'll be able to answer a lot of questions and it'll be easier for me to study. So I was intrigued by their problems. And that is how I got involved in gender studies. And I studied various topics like domestic violence, gender inequality, women empowerment, LGBT. So all these topics have been in me for a very long time since I started studying sociology. The thing is, I did not really have a chance to show what I know because most of them is just in my brain. And really, I didn't have platforms for me to showcase what I know, how to help women. And when I had the opportunity to do so, especially on social media and also helping in the pageants, I created that chance to show what I know. Of course, in the future, I hope to give talks on domestic violence, about women empowerment. I hope that women out there will give me a chance to talk about it. And I'm so glad to be in ACIPW, which is now advocating women empowerment. It's an awesome platform for me to showcase my talent. So I'm very grateful for my life journey at this point of time. I really cannot tell what is ahead of me, but I just do hope that I can continue my journey in empowering women.
You know, Vanessa, I mean, a lot of true experiences, especially when they come to social media, some have restrictions to share. I can actually see that, you know, you are without any filter, you know, you're just telling everything about yourself, your experiences, how you started it. So I think that requires a certain kind of a level. So I think you have reached that level, and your so-called your role right now is a speaker. So you know, after this COVID-19, when things get better, especially in phase three, and you know, when travel start to planes start to fly around, I'm sure you're going to start your journey. But what are the plans like? What do you have in plans once COVID has been downsized, or whether it's become safe? What is your plan? Do you plan to do more talk?
Actually, right now, I don't have really much concrete plans, but I'm waiting to give an empowerment speech at a pageant, which is currently on hold because of COVID-19. So it was supposed to happen somewhere in April, but very unfortunately, it cannot happen, and I do not know when it will happen. So I'm actually preparing myself for that by actually creating motivational speaking videos. After my post of transgender empowerment speaking videos, I will go on to post my motivational speaking videos. And I'm actually doing this to practice to be a better speaker because honestly, speaking is not my comfort zone. Writing is. I'm not as good as some other speakers out there, especially you, Vanan, super awesome speaker.
Thank you for that, Vanessa. But
So
no,
I'm trying my very best to be a good speaker. So I believe it's a long road, but I believe I can be successful in it also.
Vanessa. I mean, it was an amazing 31 minutes of talking with you. But I got this particular two question that was given to me. Um, what is your worst downfall and and your proudest moment?
My proudest moment, right? Actually, my proudest moment is to be in the ACIPW. That is my proudest moment in my life right now because I'm able to help women. And my most saddest moment is actually when I was abused. It is something I want to forget about because very unfortunately it left me with anxiety and depression, which I'm still trying to cope with these two elements at the moment right now. Because transgenders they suffer something what we call social anxiety disorder. It's through the experiences that we have gone through. And it's not something that we can conquer so easily. We need a lot of positivity in our lives to conquer this. It's a long journey to get over this, but I believe that I can. But I try not to think of my sad moments. Right now, I think of my proud moments. And CPIW is a proud moment for me to be in this organization because I have a family, especially from India. They have been supporting me greatly. And a big thanks to Mr. Tanmay, to Kamashi, to Dr. Ashad for accepting me for who I am. And also to my AICPW SG team, the president, Miss Vanita, and my team, Zia, Nor, Chunmi, and Pooja. They've been fantastic people who have been supporting, who have been on my side.
And I'm sure Vanessa, because like I mentioned earlier, I mean, I know you for a couple of years. There used to be huge changes in you as well, in terms of confidence, and you are speaking in front of a big crowd, especially one of the videos that I saw in India, that you are giving some speech. So I think that actually it's a very proudest moment of yours. Of course, accepting who you are and whatever the challenges and obstacles that you face, and you are way much more stronger than ever before. I'm also um, had this humble request. I mean, of course, people tend to sometimes make a little mockery of it, right? They tend to make jokes of a particular person, a particular group, and make jokes out of it. And if we can avoid that and we give respect to who they are and accept who they are, I think the place will be a better place. Of course, as a society is changing and evolving, like what you said, compared to in the past and right now, there are certain things they're still moving gradually, but not at the speed as what it should be. But
Yes,
if everybody with giving their love and accepting each another and forgive and be humble, we all know that we're not going to be in this planet Earth for forever. When the time is up, we'll be called up without return back ticket. But like I said, it is huge, tremendous anxiety and a little depression as well. But I know you are keeping up very well. You are encouraging women, so I think that is a path that you are enriched and you are blessed as well. So I think in that aspect, my proudest moment for you as well, because I think you have done a fantastic job over the past years, which I
thank
see
you.
constant videos. So I mean, just a little tip. I mean, this wasn't in our schedule for our talk, but I think you should start your own online talks because people out there need constant love, constant motivation as well. Like I said, when I started Kopi With Vans, we were just in a talking platform during the circuit breaker. I didn't know that the amount of support and love that came in and wanted me to do different topics. So you will never know where the path of Vanessa will bring you to the next level because you are in a route, a path that you want to enrich people. So I'm pretty sure that you are going to not enforce but give all the knowledge that you have to people to uplift themselves who are facing the same situation. And with that, your advice to people who are going through similar situations in life, because this is something that a topic that's not widely openly talked. I'm not sure why, but I think this is one of the topics that I think we should all talk about because respecting on who they are and where they are, and what they are. So in that aspect, what would your advice be or tip will be that you have been through all this with?
Okay. My advice to those who are actually transitioning is to actually take your time during your transitions. Do not rush through. Have time to sit down and reflect on who you want to be in life. Because I understand that being a transgender is not easy. We all have our misery, our struggles, our pain. And we need to find ways to overcome these obstacles. For me, in actual fact, I only recently found methods to help me to get through my pain and my struggles and my misery. And that is doing meditation and also to be thankful in life. So, one great advice is to try to find methods that can help you to be more positive in life. But of course, you must be willing to do it. I know that many of us want to give up hope in life because sometimes we ask, why must we go through this? Why can't we just be born in the body that we are meant to be? But very unfortunately, we are not in that situation. And so my second advice is to never lose hope. Always have that flame of hope burning. Have that flame of hope that you can be who you are. Because when you have hope, other people will see that you are trying to help yourself. You give up the vibes of hope. That is my second advice. My third advice is to have a calm and positive mind, to create a peaceful heart. Seek help if you need. Don't be shy. You know, we don't live in this world alone. We need help. And if we can reach out to ask for help, there are people who are willing to help us. It is not a hopeless situation. I've been doing some research, I've been reading through social media. I've seen people who want to help. And so you see right now, if you are looking for people to help, I'm one of them who's willing to help you. And I can also introduce some people who are willing to help you at the same time. So seriously, this is an open invitation for those who are struggling. I'm willing to help you all. And
Vanessa,
my fourth advice is just be who you are. Do not be anybody else. And that is how you can build yourself up.
I've conducted more than 30 over interviews over the past 4.5 months. But your interview seems to be very different because of your personal experiences. Most of the videos, the live chats or the live talk, the videos was more centric to fitness and health. But when I started this season two, and we have a chat and said we want to share this experience, which is good because so far I have not seen. I know there are some speeches that went before, but it's very good experience to understand how one will feel. And you also talk about emotions, you talk about mental health, you talk about physical as well, the changes, the transitions, the obstacles, the challenges. Like it keep on going on. But that's one part that I think we all should focus is respect. Like what you said, Vanessa, earlier on that it's who you are, what you are, where you are. It's about us. But if everybody just be respectful, I think that's where we might not hurt anyone. If we don't like something that someone is doing, we can just take a step back and may not even hurt someone. So I think sometimes by saying or like putting a remark that I think that cool down someone, especially like you shared your journey that people make fun of you, passing remarks and kind of stuff. But right now, these remarks or these funny comments doesn't hurt you anymore, right? It becomes a moment where you think that you are not one, you are who you are. But is there a frustration moment that you face when someone looks at you and said, "Don't mind saying this because I'm not meant in my own comment." Oh, look at that, funny. When someone says that, how is your reaction? Do you get frustrated? Do you confront the person, or you take it as, I don't know, what kind of emotions or mental stress or calmness you go through? What is something that you go through that time, that trigger time?
Well, honestly, to tell you seriously, at the moment, I'll just smile at that person. I'll say, thank you. You have your opinions, I have my opinions. But that does not change what I think about you. You're still a human being, and I will still love you. I will still be that kind and gracious person who is still willing to accept whatever your opinion is. And maybe if one day you do change my opinion about me, I will still accept it. That is how I go about my life now. I don't fight anymore. No point. Because I know there are people who accept me and there are people who won't accept me. Everybody have their own opinions. That is life. So why worry? Be happy. You know my most favorite song right now is Don't Worry, Be Happy. You should start listening to that song, Manan. It's an awesome song.
Okay,
I,
maybe maybe I can practice that and come up with the next video on that song.
actually, long time ago, I did not bother about this song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. But recently, when I started to listening, I realized that this is a very powerful empowerment song. It just, tell you in life is just to let go. Don't keep anything inside you. The more you keep things that you do not like, it will actually hurt you more and it will bring you down to an abyss of negativity. Why should we want to do that? We should be in an abyss of positivity, so that we can just go on with life.
Vanessa, we also have one of Dr. Dr. Mugil, which I know personally as well. So she says also owning oneself need a lot of courage. Well done. We all can be inspired. So you can see that a lot of encouragement comments are coming in, Vanessa, with the speech that you just given. People just love it, and they're commenting it. So I think well done on that. Vanessa, before we end this session, is there something that you want to say to the audience?
Yes, I want you all to have a happy life. I want you all to be loving. I want you all to live in a society that can love each other and be peaceful. Live a good life. Be blessed. love all because I also love you. And Vanan, I totally love you also.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for letting me be on this show to allow me to air my views and be open to people to show them who I'm who I really am.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much. I know there was a little emotional period for you, but we have so much, right? I mean, you look at one of the comments that just came in a while ago. Anil said, God loves a grateful heart. That's why God loves you too, you know. So I mean, it's just pouring down. I mean, like my only small request to friends and families and even to social media is that we always have to be respectful. I mean, if we do see you see, Vanessa, if you look at my for the past 47 minutes, I don't even want to mention um, the LGBT because I don't even want to put into a logo. I don't want to put a brand, because everybody is same. Like the initial, the first question that puts you, where is Vanessa from, right? But same thing like that. I don't want to put anyone in a logo or put in a group. But if we respect and accept each other, I think we love and we live in a better place, which is called planet Earth. I think that's what we should be aiming for.
Yes, correct.
But
I agree.
the moment when we say that, okay, this person belongs to a different group, or this person is a little bit there, so we are putting a division or divide on each and individual characters. So eventually we are judging. So we shouldn't be judging. We are to judge. At the end of the day, we should just love ourselves and our families and our friends. Like earlier we said, we agree. We have to give in order to receive. So I think in that aspect, it was a fantastic and a fabulous talk session. And again, Dr. Miguel has said, Vanessa, you have a good heart. God bless you always. You can see that a lot of people are just commenting, So which is, I think, Vanessa, it's purely good blessings. And Anil, thank you so much. Yes, no branding, just us human beings. So we shouldn't brand. I think, Vanessa, we shouldn't even put a logo for you or for me or for me. We all humans. So I think in that aspect, if we live on, I think everything is just good. So I respect who they are. We respect their decisions. We just move on.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Thank you, Anil, for your constant comment as always. Thank you, brother. We have said in a very one word, all God's children. There you go.
Yes, we're all
All are
God's children.
okay. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for the 50 minutes of talk session. I'm not even saying it's an interview session because you was expressing yourself and the path and the journey that you have came along. And I'm sure people who are watching this, even though it's live, even if it can be a recorded version, it can be in our Facebook and social media and YouTube. So please come and support her, Vanessa, and do say hi to her as well.
Yeah, so good.
It's a fantastic lady, and she will definitely will
To
share
me,
experiences as well. Vanessa, thank you so much. So we'll catch up again, maybe for coffee.
yes, don't forget we must catch up. Fish head curry, remember?
Okay. Do you know where you want to go?
Fish head curry.
Yeah,
We
the
still
only
haven't had
place.
our fish head curry yet.
So where do we go to? The only place. Come on, say the
Where
name.
else? Where else?
You tell me.
Little India?
There are so many fish and curry, man. Where's the one
Mutu's
particular place?
curry.
Sorry?
Mutu's curry.
There you go. If the boss hears, probably will give you some discount. You are a good marketing person, Vanessa.
Yeah, of course, Mutu's curry is still the best. Their fish head curry is just superb. Especially
Okay.
their fish tikka and
Okay.
their filter coffee.
Okay. This particular thing the boss have to see because he will definitely give you discount
Is
for
the
sure.
boss there or not?
I can't see, but probably he might see. So definitely, Vanessa goes into Muthu's curry and that's it because of all your good comments and remarks on that. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much for your past 50 minutes. Again, it was a fantastic interview with a lot of humble ways of explaining, and it's also eye opening for a lot of people who are saying probably they will know. They already know what the whole topic is about. Probably their
Yeah.
concept or maybe their way of looking at things will be a little different because even I myself learning. So there you go, Vanessa. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you, and we will be connected for our mutus curry. Probably yes, and we'll
Definitely.
catch you very soon. Thank you, Vanessa. I'll catch you then. See ya.
Okay. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. It's Van from Kopi With Vans. Bye.